Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Patrick, and you're watching another episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today we'll be talking about a rumor that has come out from MakingStarWars.net that has to deal with Luke's role in Episode 7 and how he uses the Force.
Yeah, we're getting into some pretty major spoiler territory right now. We've reported on stuff like this in the past. There's all these rumors circulating about Luke goes to the dark side, Luke gets corrupted, Luke is the villain of Episode 7. I think a lot of those are off, but now the fine people have Making Star Wars.net, which they clearly have people on the inside.
Yep. We've got lots of rumors from them.
And now they have this report that is not only the most detailed in terms of storyline, that actually makes the most sense in terms of not being extreme in one way or the other. But before we begin, I just have to warn you, I think there's a lot of legitimacy to this rumor, and so this will probably be the most spoiler-filled rumor that we've ever reported on. So
spoilers.
Spoilers. So anyway, I read it, but I kind of regret it because I read more detail than I cared to. But the damage has been done. But you have not read it.
I have not read this.
So
I'm not dealing with spoilers.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
I don't recommend it. Oh my God. So anyway, now that he's gone, we can talk about this. Okay. So here's the deal. Here's what they've been tying this all together. All these rumors we've heard about, all these things about Luke Skywalker, kind of his relationship to the Force and his fate, and also the whole deal about him being missing for 20 years. So this is what they're reporting. This is the setup to Episode 7, but also kind of getting into the plot. That's why I say it's kind of pretty major spoilers. This is probably going to be like the first hour of the movie. So basically, because when I heard the rumors about Luke Skywalker fully turning to the dark side and being like the villain, like the cyborg character, I thought, that's kind of extreme because, you know, the whole point of the end of Return of the Jedi is like Luke chooses good where his father failed. And that's why Luke was like the righteous one, whereas, Anakin was like the flawed one. And he could go beyond his father and be that better person. And so it's kind of weird that he would be so extremely corrupted by that, and that's why I didn't really buy that whole Luke Skywalker becomes the villain. But this is the report now, is that Luke Skywalker has become so powerful with the Force. He's less of a lightsaber wielding warrior type character and more like a wizard or a shaman, much more into that spiritual power aspect of it, kind of like Yoda in the original trilogy. Not Yoda in the prequels because he's bouncing around the lightsaber or whatever. That's kind of a retcon of the original version of Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, where he lives among nature in the swamp in isolation. And the whole story point is that Luke has become so powerful that he's afraid that he could become a danger to society, that because of his father got corrupted. His father was a very powerful Jedi and he got corrupted. And so he's afraid that this same thing could happen to him. And so he goes off in isolation. And that's why there's this whole thing about the search for Luke Skywalker, and Luke Skywalker's living on Skellig Michael, this isolated island. It's because he's gone off on purpose to isolate himself from society. And there's this description of a scene where like he's meditating and he'll just levitate objects uncontrollably, and he's afraid that he can't control this power, that he's become so powerful that, you know, he's a danger. He could be potentially used as a weapon. And so he isolates himself. And in this isolation, he kind of goes a little bit stir crazy. And when they first meet Luke Skywalker, you know, he's got the big gray grizzled beard and stuff like that. And he's kind of a little off hinge, you know, like he's kind of, you can see the fire in his eyes, that he has this enormous amount of power and he's afraid to use it. And so that's where these rumors of Luke Skywalker kind of turning bad or being corrupted is, because he knows what he's capable of, what he's potentially capable of. And it would be very easy for him to fall down the path that his father went to. So he removes himself from society and he hasn't been seen in 20 years. And so I guess the setup to Episode 7 will be that there must be some threat that is so huge that like geez, we need a Jedi to solve this because we can't do it. And there's only one Jedi in the known universe, and it's Luke Skywalker. And no one's seen him for 20 years. And so that's where the search for Luke Skywalker comes in. And so these are all coming together now. And I guess it's like the whole rumor about by the end of episode 7, Luke becomes corrupted because he's afraid to use his power. Because he's afraid he won't be able to fully control it because he's become so, you know, he's like this wizard character. He's become so powerful. And so this threat that has forced Luke Skywalker to come out of retirement and back into the real world, that's why they call it The Force Awakens. That's the explanation for the title of episode 7. And so maybe there's a situation in the climax where he is forced to use his power and he begins tapping into that extreme nature of the dark side, where the dark side, well, Yoda says the dark side's not more powerful, it's more quicker. But you can see how, like, in an emergency situation, if you had to stop somebody, you could just tap into the dark side and just, you know, win the battle. And so maybe that's what happens at the end of episode 7. So that's pretty extreme spoilers right there. I don't know. This makes more sense than any of the other rumors that we have heard about this. And that's why, like, I kind of wanted to stop I kind of read too much. I think there's a little bit more to the story. I will give you the link at the end of this video if you want to go check out the full thing. So that's very fascinating. That makes a lot of sense dramatically. It seems very plausible as opposed to like Luke becoming the villain, like with the cyborg mask, the Doctor Doom mask and stuff like that. I don't know who that cyborg character is, but this rumor really does add up. So yeah, it's understandable that Patrick didn't want to hear it because I recommended it. I was like, you probably don't want to hear this. So I guess that's about it. We should probably call Patrick back now because he's... Patrick! Patrick! Spoilers are done! The spoilers are done! You can come back. Patrick?
Whoa. Won't be getting any spoilers out here. Those are some bad jubes.
Patrick! Spoilers are done!
Huh? What?
Patrick!
What?
You missed some crazy spoilers. What the hell happened?
I don't know. I just went on some crazy adventure. I was somewhere else. Somewhere mysterious.
What are you talking about? You were here the whole time. You just zoned out for 5 minutes.
Oh.
You been doing drugs again?